everybody. Welcome back to Bucks Beat Podcast. This is episode 130. We'll be talking about SEC Media Days, the winners and the losers, and there was a quarterback that really impressed me that we'll be breaking down here in just a moment. Right now, though, I wanted to talk about the other quarterback that everybody was talking about last week, and that is Arch Manning, the new quarterback for the Texas Longhorns. Arch was in the spotlight for the very first time at SEC Media Days, and boy, I tell you, I was just so impressed with the way he conducted and handled himself in front of the media. He appeared to be really relaxed and comfortable in his own skin, meeting with the media like this for the very first time. Enjoyed the humble responses that he had. He wasn't big-timing anybody. Really humble in his remarks and responses. Although you could tell there's an air of confidence about Arch coming into this season. Loved the fact that he smiled and laughed a little bit. Didn't seem like it was painful to interact with the media that at times can ask a lot of silly and stupid questions. He had fun with it. And look, on the field, here's a guy that's ready to play at a big league level. He's had 2 years to get prepared to take over this Texas Longhorn team and offense, and his leadership role, and seems to be really comfortable in this leadership role coming into the season, and comfortable running the Sarkisian offense that he'll be running. Everything he needs to be successful in the upcoming season, he's got. He's got the skills. He's got the talent around him. He's got an excellent game planner and play caller. Everything Arch needs to have a big breakout season, he's got. And so I'm expecting big things out of Arch Manning coming into this season. In fact, I expect him to be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the SEC. Another one of the winners, and let me pick out a coach I thought that handled the media very well, and that was Tennessee coach Josh Heupel, who won the room as I sat and observed that. Really liked his honesty. There were a couple of questions. I know one of them coming from a Georgia media member that talked about how Georgia had really taken it to Tennessee here over the last couple of seasons. And Heupel didn't hesitate to say that they just weren't good enough, didn't perform good enough to play with Georgia, that they've got to play better against the Bulldogs if they expect to win starting this season, trying to knock them off. There was no hiding. There was no deflecting. The quarterback issue, everybody wanted to know about his quarterback situation. And I loved his response on that. Heupel said, look, we've won, as a head coach, we've won with many different quarterbacks, different skill sets, able to maneuver the offense to allow the offense to be successful. So it didn't appear to be a guy that's totally freaking out with his quarterback situation. We got to see the formula a year ago where Iamaleava really not performing at a very high level at all last season. Heupel and his coaching staff offensively turned to the running game. They ran the ball really well, and they played defense. Heupel, in my opinion, has done an awesome job up in Knoxville. As far as losers go, boys at the coffee shop wanted to hear about who I thought the winners and the losers were at SEC Media Days. Talking season. I'm going to bring up John Mateer, quarterback out of Washington State. He's transferred to Oklahoma, and a lot of people expecting big things out of Mateer, who put up some big numbers for the Cougars last season. He's being hyped up by Greg McElroy, who thinks he'll be one of the top quarterbacks in college football, if not the top quarterback in the SEC. I've got a lot of question marks as far as Mateer goes. He came off as really cocky during the interviews. That was one thing I didn't like. Like he was the man coming into this season, making this cross-country move to the Deep South, and he's going to face a competition level that's going to be rougher and tougher than he's ever faced before in the SEC. And I'm not sure his style of play is going to translate into the SEC this season. Here was a guy that did a lot of running around at Washington State last season, a lot of extending plays and scrambling around and making defenders miss tackles. Not sure that's going to play in the SEC. They're going to run his butt down quick in the Southeastern Conference. So I think he was one of the losers at SEC Media Days last week. Also wanted to talk about why Kirby Smart, a lot of people seemingly wanting to know why Kirby Smart didn't officially, publicly announce that Gunnar Stockton is QB1 at Georgia coming into the season. Look, if you don't understand that Gunnar Stockton's QB1 at Georgia, then you're just simply not paying attention to what's been going on. Clearly, Stockton is the number one quarterback. He's the starter coming into the year. The Bulldog team knows it. The Bulldog coaching staff understands that. And here are some of the clues about Gunnar being QB1 at Georgia. He was inserted into the SEC title game when Beck was injured. Last year, Georgia went on to beat Texas and win the SEC championship. He started in the college football playoffs against Notre Dame and played pretty well. As I went back and reviewed the video of the game several times, I thought he played pretty well. He represented Georgia at SEC Media Days. Folks, if they're not sure that you're going to be a starter in the upcoming season, guess what? You're not going to represent the team, the program, the university at SEC Media Days. Kirby also was talking glowingly about Gunnar Stockton at SEC Media Days. Folks, he's not going to do that if he doesn't believe that Gunnar's the man coming into the season. Georgia fans, get behind Gunnar Stockton. He's set to have a big season, in my opinion. And he's another quarterback that's going to have a big, big year in the SEC. Joining me now, one of the all-time great Florida Gator quarterbacks, Shane Matthews. And Shane, what about DJ Lagway? You expecting to see a breakout season out of DJ?
He's got an opportunity. He's a very talented young man. Got all the traits you like in a quarterback, and it just depends. He's really got a really great supporting cast around him, and you never know how these games are going to play out. But I think a lot of people expect DJ to have a big year.
Shane, what did you learn about him watching him play last season?
I think the biggest thing what I liked about him was his composure as a true freshman. He's got a really great football IQ. He understands what they're trying to do offensively. I would say if one of the things he needs to improve on is, playing against zone defenses. But the way the Gators run the football, you don't see a lot of zone defenses, so it allows him to make plays down the field. But the biggest issue for him is his health. If he can be healthy for the entire year, the Gators have a chance.
Shane, what about going into his second season, right? I mean, that first year you're in there, as I recall, it's not as comfortable as you would like to be. So many things getting thrown at you. What about now coming out of that first year? He's had time to digest what happened, study up a little bit, more comfortable in the offense, more comfortable leading. How much better do you expect him to be in this upcoming season?
Well, we all hope as Gator fans that he plays at a very high level. I think he can. Year two should be a huge jump for him. He was prepared. He's the Gatorade National Player of the Year, so he's used to all the notoriety and all that kind of stuff that comes along with playing quarterback. But I think Graham Mertz being a older guy that was the start at the beginning of the year before he was injured really helped teach DJ how to prepare and how to learn Billy Napier's system. So again, I think everything just comes down to the health of DJ Lagway.
The deep ball success, throws over 20 yards. He really, he's one of the best in college football last season, working that ball down the field, right? I mean, big arm, really comfortable taking those deep shots.
Well, as I've always stated, and I've been my belief, throwing the ball deep is the easiest and safest throw in football. A lot of people don't understand that, don't understand why I say that, but usually it's either play action or you have one quick read and you just let it go, right?
Sure.
And DJ can do that. I thought, the way we run the football, the other opposing team has to bring the the safety or an extra guy in the box. So that allows you to get man-to-man coverage on the outside, and that's what you want. Can your guy beat their guy? I thought Chim DK and Elijah Badger did phenomenal job going up in some contested throws and using their body to make those catches. And I love Florida's receiving core. It's as good as I've ever seen here. But can these guys, make those type of catches? And time will tell. But DJ's a great thrower of the ball down the field. I think he's comfortable doing that. He's got great arm strength and made some really good throws last year.
What about short to intermediate? Consistently being accurate with the ball placement's really big in those tight windows. This is where he should be making his biggest improvement in year number 2. You believe
that's
that?
What we hope so. When you say he struggled there, not everybody completes all those balls. Sometimes there's some tight windows. He struggled against zone defenses last year. He threw 9 interceptions. I don't know how many came against zone. Defenses reading his eyes and head position and things of that nature. But, he's a big play guy. If he can get where he is comfortable and can make those easy throws, when a guy's open in the flat, give it to him and let him make 5 or 6 yards. That's where, if he does that, he will take that next step to the next level.
Well, I was at SEC Media Days when he walked in, and he looked like $1 million, Shane. I mean, that suit, he didn't buy that one off the rack. I mean, the way he handled the media, I left very impressed with his presentation of himself in front of the SEC media. Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, his dad played college football. He's been groomed to do this. Our sports information people, Gator Made program does a tremendous job getting these guys ready to speak in front of folks and all that kind of stuff. And let's be honest, all these quarterbacks nowadays, they're all 6'4", 240 pounds. It's crazy how big they are. DJ, he can play at a high level, as I stated earlier. If he can be healthy and stay healthy, Gators have a chance this year.
Have you gotten to know him at all? What kind of personality does Lagway have?
I've only met DJ one time briefly before one of the games. I don't really. I go to a few practices, kind of stand in the corner and then go about my business. I don't like to bother folks.
Right.
But he's a grinder. He's got a great relationship with Billy Napier. Billy's called him when he was a young player out in Texas and stayed in contact and recruited him hard and got him to come to Florida. But he's a grinder, loves to work. Now he's been hampered due to the shoulder injury, so he's still on a pitch count. But hopefully that'll all get resolved here before we kick it off.
Shane, thanks so much for the insight, man. We got a lot of Gator fans up here. Everybody's interested here in Atlanta, it seems, in the SEC. So it's nice to have a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain at a guy that most people are, forecasting that he's going to play some NFL football moving forward. So we appreciate the insight, brother.
All right, Buck. Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Shane. I wanted to spotlight another quarterback I think this on the verge of breaking loose, breaking out, and being a household name in college football, and that is Florida Gator sophomore quarterback, DJ Lagway. The expectations for Lagway are huge coming into this season. And let me just say, at SEC Media Days, Lagway looked like $1 million in front of the media. He had that sharply tailored suit that looked really good. You look at the big body that he's got. It's really impressive, 6'3", 240 pounds. And he's got superstar skills. Elite arm talent is at the top of the list. A guy that, as a freshman a year ago, looked really poised in the pocket for a freshman quarterback. He's got that mobility that you need to thrive these days. He can escape. He can extend plays. This skill set, one of the best I've seen for a quarterback ready to break loose here. He's right now throwing 3 times a week with the other Gator quarterbacks on campus this summer. He did not participate in spring football, had a shoulder problem that he says is now healed. And he's missed the spring, but getting back into the swing of things this summer. Reportedly will be ready to go when their camp gets underway. What Lagway is, at least in year number one, he was an elite deep ball passer. Elite. Number two in college football last season with a 95.6 passing grade on deep ball throws. He led college football last season in completion percentage on throws that went over 20 yards down the field. Completion percentage of almost 64%. He led Power 4 conferences with an 8.8% big-time throw rate. And his passer rating was number two in the SEC at 154.9. 6-1 as a starter for the Gators last season, won 4 in a row to end the season, which has really hyped up this Gator team coming into this year. O-line returns 4 returning starters on the offensive line. His running back's back. Jaden Ball returns, averaged over 5 yards a carry last season. And they've got a deep wide receiver room. Eugene Wilson and Aiden Mizell are back, ready to be ballers on the outside. He's got J. Michael Sturdivant, a UCLA transfer, big-bodied receiver coming in. And they've added a couple of big-time receivers in the most recent recruiting class. Dallas Wilson, a 5-star recruit. Vernell Brown, a 4-star recruit. And so he's got a lot of quality talent around him coming into the season. Florida's schedule, like last year, is one of the toughest in the SEC. Early in the season, really rugged early in the season. They play in Baton Rouge at LSU. They go to Miami, taking on Carson Beck and the Hurricanes. Got Texas at home. And also they're going to face Texas A&M. So if the Gators are going to win 8, 9, maybe 10 games this season, they are going to have to survive weeks 3 through 6 getting the season started. I think the over and under on Florida is 6.5 coming into the season. I've got them winning 6 games this season, and I don't think that's going to be DJ Lagway's fault. That could have Napier in severe trouble as far as job security in Florida, at Florida. He's a guy that's on the hot seat coming into the season. So the Florida Gators, one of those teams to really keep an eye on. Big-time quarterback, ready to explode onto the scene, have a breakout season. Looks like they've got some talent around him, but there's a lot of pressure on Billy Napier to win down at Florida right now. Doesn't get it done this year. If they have another disappointing season, a losing season this year, I think he's in a heap of trouble. As far as keeping that job, they're going to be looking to replace him in a hurry. And so there you go. SEC Media Days wrap on the podcast. Look out for Gunnar Stockton having a big season. And DJ Lagway should be ready to take a next big step into being one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC and in college football. I'm sure expecting to see that happen this coming year. It's going to do it for this podcast. We'll have one up later this week. Check it out. And remember, when the Braves don't play at 7, you got the Buck Belue Show on 680 The Fan from 6 to 8. Be breaking it down and keeping it real. Have a great day, everybody.